Okay, now we're going to do the third video, which is on the music production company, but it's actually a lot more. And hopefully you can hear me. We're having one of those, Costa Rican rainstorms that is pretty nasty. So hopefully you can hear me okay, and we can get this done, because otherwise I'm going to have to wait till it's over. Anyway, this business. Well, let me do this in chronological order, because this business actually started out as just an idea, and it's grown in complexity, and it's grown in different features, and now it's a lot bigger than what it used to be. What this started out as, and one of the reasons it has the name that it has, which is Solid Rock Costa Rica, one of the reasons it has that name is I was going to do a music academy for aspiring rock stars, and call it Solid Rock Academy. And I really wanted to plug this in, because there is a rock star, a very large rock star, who has one of these going in the United States. I'm not going to tell you where. And my original idea was to just do that. And so I was going to call his staff members for advice, and get them sucked in one way or another. And eventually we would have had the whole thing going that way. And one of the comments that somebody made is, well, what would we be doing this in Costa Rica for? And isn't that kind of a bad idea? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. We're not really looking at the local market all that much. We're actually looking at an international market. And the way I was looking at this at first was looking at the U.S. market and establishing a presence, an academy in Costa Rica that would be in a beautiful tropical setting, which is very appealing to, young aspiring rock stars, or anybody else for that matter. And I was going to primarily draw most of the students from the United States and Europe and those areas, and Japan. And then what we would do, because there's a lot of people in need here of assistance, and they couldn't afford the tuition for such a place, even if they had it. And so therefore, as funds became available, we were going to offer scholarships to local musicians and have some other positions basically at cost, and make it as non-cost to the local musicians as possible, because like I said, they really need it. And I know some of these guys personally, and a lot of them deserve it, but they just don't get much of a break being in this country. So this would be a way of helping them out and getting the school going and that type of thing. And because of the rock stars that I would be approaching, and I believe that I could get them involved, and I also mentioned a billionaire, and for various reasons, which I'm not going to go into here, unless I do right at the end of the video, this billionaire, I believe, will be interested in this project. So from those two primary sources, I was going to get the seed capital, and then I know some other stuff that will be coming down the line, and I'm not going to go into what it is or why it is, but let's just say there's a lot more money coming. There's a lot more money coming, and Also, these two particular rock stars would probably come down here and personally, give some inspiration to the students, etc. And it would be a great publicity thing for them as well. And I think we would eventually have a parade of rock stars coming down here to do this and maybe teach a week or whatever at our academy. And so that's how the idea originally started. Then I began to think, why just confine this to rock stars? Why not open it up to production people and other things? Because we're going to have to build a booth anyway for recording and practice rooms and all this other stuff. So we could also have student technicians working on the technical side to begin producing videos. Now, there's a reason for this, is because Costa Rica is one of the most popular places for movie shoots, and would also be good for video shoots. And the most expensive place in the world to record your album, so-called, is actually Tokyo. And there's a whole story behind that. But I wanted to have a location in the capital, San Jose, and another location at the beach, and then have real rock stars come down here to begin recording their videos, to begin recording their audios and their albums. And they could do that. They could come down here, do all the recording, and have a Costa Rican vacation, and still save money from what it would cost them to just go across the street in Hollywood or across the street in Tokyo to record their album. It would be like getting a Costa Rican vacation thrown in for free. And our location at the beach would be very nice, and would include, a small hotel. And, of course, the rooms would only be open to rock stars and the support staff, etc. And so they could have a full vacation in our own hotel if they wanted, or pick any other hotel in the country. It doesn't matter. And we would help plan their trip. We would help, etc., and get the whole thing together. And maybe even set up a show or two for them while they're here, And so one idea led to another, and that led to the idea of doing a production company, and that led to the idea of doing this, and that led to the idea of doing that. And then I realized that the main source of income for rock stars and people like that now in the music business has been taken away from them. The internet has taken away their main source of income, which used to be the sales of records and CDs. And now what are they left with? They're left with the sale of T-shirts and selling their songs on iTunes and things like that. And that's if the people are honest enough to download them from iTunes and spend the 99 cents. Spend the 99 cents. When they have to split it up with iTunes, that type of thing. Now, just as an aside, there are some developments in the Bitcoin industry which will assist in this process. But we're not even going to discuss that right now because that's a minor point. Okay? So like I said, one idea led to another. And then I realized, hey, I need to start talking to some real working rock stars to see if these ideas are working. So I have, there's a band out of Greece that I like very much. And so I have been in discussions with them, and we're hoping to bring them aboard into the company. Obviously not in a full-time capacity. but or to bring them aboard into the company, and they can help tell us, what part of our promotional material hits them good and what part doesn't. Plus, I picked a non-U.S. band for a reason, because non-U.S. bands have particular problems for raising money with the ideas that I came up with. But in any event, if some of you have read the website, then you are up to speed on some of this. So I'm not going to rehearse the whole thing. But this has turned into a gigantic idea. What started out as a very small idea has just grown and grown and grown. And, basically, I believe the only way to do this is to proceed not on the entrepreneurial model, but on the promotional model, because I had to recruit several different people. I had to recruit some bands, and we have to get a core, and then we had to begin working. Before we even start the academy, we're going to start the production company first, I think. We're going to start the production company. Now, this band in Greece, they have a very talented woman who sets up most of their gigs and etc. And so if we can work out a deal with them, we're going to try and bring her in as first a part-time employee and then a more regular employee as the income grows, because she is able to do amazing things. From Greece, she's been able to get the group signed up for gigs in Spain and the Netherlands and Belgium and all over Europe. This Greek woman with no experience has been able to do these things. And believe me, that's somebody I want to talk to. So yes, we are going to grow very quickly beyond Costa Rica, and we're probably going to have to change the name, or we'll have to have a Solid Rock Costa Rica, a Solid Rock Greece, a Solid Rock Spain, whatever. It could be done that way, that we have, based on where the location is located, we would then call it Solid Rock, whatever country that is. And I have not had time to go into everything, but that gives you a basic idea. Some of the stuff on the website's a little bit dated, okay? But in any event, I am looking for people that want to help out in one capacity or another with this business. And I'm not making any promises, but this has a lot of potential. And if we can get some talented people working with us, then this thing is going to go like something that you wouldn't believe. It'd be like a juggernaut. And this, I believe, once this gets going, it'll snowball and it'll grow so fast that the music business will be transformed before most people even know it. Anyway, so that's the summary for this video. And so if you are interested in at least investigating this further, I invite you to contact me. We can either have the discussions in the group here or in private, however you want to do it. I don't know how the moderator of this group would like this to be a discussion here, but maybe it should be a discussion here, because this is very exciting, and I've also got some other business ideas that we can open up to the group as well. So until next time, this is M. John Allen saying goodbye, everybody.